Hello everyone, this is Sanjeev from Indian Institute of Management Kozhikode. I'm having my friend Shayanta with me. Welcome to the second episode of Leadership Podcast series of Inside Circle of PGP-BL. To begin the episode, we are extremely delighted to introduce our guest Shivanshi Verma, who is the co-founder of Yoboshu Cares. There are so many incredible and great things to learn from Shivanshi, but the most interesting part is she is one of the youngest female entrepreneur of India currently. Coming from IIT Ropar, where she had great opportunities to to get placed into MNCs, work for big companies, she gave up on all those things and she followed her calling, passion, and dream. Currently, she is solving one of the major fitness problems that people are facing. So, to start with, Shivanshi, first of all, thank you so much for accepting our invite and giving your time to us.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's really great to interact with you both today.
Yeah. So to start with, Shivanshi, I believe that success may define you, but whereas failures will definitely shape you. So before coming to know about your journey with Yobushu Cares, we would like to start with what is your motivating factor to take up entrepreneurship at very young age, and what's the vision you had yourself when you started this entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah. So basically, if I talk about why I started entrepreneurship, so it came out of my own personal reason. When I saw people like Ratan Tata or Ambani or Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they're contributing so much to this world, right? They're having a big impact. So I always wanted that I should also have a big impact on people's life. I just don't want to just live and die. I want to live an impactful life. So that's when I thought that okay, I'll do something in entrepreneurship, and I decided that while doing jail itself. So yeah, that's how I came at this field.
Got it. So we would like to know, I mean, like how everything has started. I know based on from your LinkedIn journey, I came to know you started with your first hyper local based delivery model. So what has happened with this, how it has started and how it has failed and what learnings you got it from that failures?
Yeah. So the first startup, it was called Swero, and the tagline
Mhm.
was quick delivery, less charge. So it was like modern day Zepto. The only thing was that we used to deliver within few hours and not just 10
Mhm.
minutes. So that started when I was in first year of my college. Me and my co-founder Sandeep, we started that together, and uh, we usually used to serve people from IIT Ropar there because market was very far away from our college. We were getting good number of users. We were serving, delivering them different items, whatever they need, whatever they want. But ultimately, that failed, and I think it's because of our lack of knowledge of the startup field, and secondly, due to timing. At that time, this behavior of purchasing online was not developed. We got this habit during COVID, right? Before that, people used to feel convenient going to the store and getting their food. So I think majorly it failed because of the timing, number one, and number two, because of our lack of expertise in this area. We were like, I was just fresh out of school. I had 0% knowledge of how corporates work, job, intern, and like I had 0% experience. And so did Sandeep. So, yeah, but that was a good learning in itself. We learned about the dynamics of a startup, how we have to serve users, right? How to get users and all that. And then we started with our second startup, Yoboshu, where again we
So
failed two
what
times, and now this is our third pivot.
that is true because in entrepreneurship, the more number of failures define you, how strong you're going to project your startup. So in this entire journey,
Yeah,
true. In this entire journey, what was the support system you got it from parents, friends, and college professors?
okay. So talking about the support system from parents. So my parents obviously wanted me to do something, but at the same time they were very afraid that बीटेक खराब कर लेगी 4 साल रुक जाती उसके बाद कर लेती so they because in my family everyone is doing job there is no one
Yeah.
from startup business background so they had this mentality that after doing my BTech either I should join IIM or I should be doing some job so they were kind of very afraid. Initially, they little opposed my decision to start up,
Yeah.
but I was kind of very adamant at that time. I didn't listen. Talking about the support from my friends. So friends, Like, I don't know how. I didn't make a lot of friends in my college life. Entire college life was gone for startup. I couldn't give much time to that, unfortunately, and I think that I missed that. And talking about the support from institute, so institute did support me. So there was a TBI incubation center there when we were at a very nascent stage, right? We didn't know anything about startup. Still, they gave us some grant that okay, you just experiment with your idea. And especially two professors, Harpreet sir and Ashish Sani sir, they have been really supportive throughout. And I think whatever we are, it's because of the initial push these people gave us.
From the professors. Got it. And she wanted to add to this, like, how has your LinkedIn journey started and how is it going?
Yeah, so LinkedIn journey started after we failed our first product. So we launched our first product on Diwali. It was 14th November 2020 or 2021.
Uh,
No, it was 2020,
uh,
14 November 2020. So at that time, we built a product after working for months, and nobody wanted it, right? And in 2 3 months, we just got one user. And at that time, we felt that this thing is very much missing. People, they just don't know about Yoboshu. They don't care. We are just known by people in our own college, right? It's like a frog in a stuck in a
well,
kuha type. Nobody knew about Yoboshu. Nobody cared about this. So we thought that okay, we should at least get out of here. We should start posting online. LinkedIn was a very good medium to do that. There are so many professionals, so many good people. So we thought that okay, why not just start writing on LinkedIn? So I just started posting about my journey so far and all that on LinkedIn.
mhm.
And I think the LinkedIn audience has been very supportive throughout. Most of our users in the initial stage we got from LinkedIn. So
Okay.
I'm very grateful for each one of people who are following me on LinkedIn or who have been supporting us in this journey. Now I think it's going well. I just hope to
Yeah,
touch more lives going forward.
got it. Yes.
Shivanshi, Shayanta here. We know what Yoboshu does, right? It amalgamates your fitness goals with the psychology part. What we wanted to know is what kind of research does this backs this project? Is there some kind of research that was gone into it? What was the beginning, and how was the inception of this idea came into being, and what is the current the research that is simultaneously going on? How are you keeping up with that?
Yeah. So to answer this question, I'll take you to our second product, which was about dieting and exercise. So what we did was after our first product failed, which was I think in February, like it failed in the start itself, but we realized in February. So after that failed, we started this dieting and exercise thing in March, right? So there we used to give diet plans and exercise plans to people, and we started getting revenue for the first time in history of Ibushu. But problem came when 2 3 months down the line we started noticing that people, they just can't diet forever, right? After certain months they start gaining their weight back again, and they completely lose interest in dieting. Then we thought that is something wrong with the way we are approaching this, or is there something wrong with the dieting itself? We researched on it for again several months, for a few days. We got to know that 90% of the dieters, they regain their weight. They're just stuck in a yo-yo weight cycle where they are just dieting to lose weight. They end up losing weight. They end up getting back on the earlier trajectory, and again they gain the weight, and again they diet. So it's kind of a yo-yo weight cycle they end up going. And that was such a serious problem, and we wanted to do something about it. We looked at other companies, and surprisingly no one was addressing this issue. Everyone was just giving a short-term solution, a quick paracetamol, you can say. So we wanted to build something for the long term. Now the problem was that we are from engineering backgrounds. How can we give health advice? We can't,
Exactly.
right?
Mm,
So
true.
we had to build a team of people. So we got people from the field of behavioral psychology. So Kirti Tyagi from IIT Delhi, she's in a PhD in behavioral psychology. She joined us. We got people from food and nutrition background who have more than 10 years of experience, then from physical activity background. Now, all these people, they researched for more than 7-8 months on how we can approach this problem of long-term weight management, which is losing weight and maintaining it for our entire life. So after this thorough research, we launched this program in March this year, and now the feedback that we get from users is just amazing. Obviously, there are a lot of things which we are learning on the way. Sometimes our app crashes, like it happened just 4 or 5 days back. We were stuck in a terrible problem. So we are learning from the users as well. But the response, first time in their life, they say that we are able to lose weight so effortlessly. And I can keep on practicing this for my entire life. There's nothing hard or difficult which you ask me to do. But we're still researching, still
So,
making the program by taking their feedbacks.
so has any part, as an engineering student myself, I'm keen to ask, has your engineering knowledge has come into any use in the in designing this program, or how has your academics has had any role in this, or we can say that okay, it is your passion and your general interest and all the, of course, the people that you said has helped you help this product gain popularity.
So if I specifically talk about the knowledge which I earned during BTech, so I did mechanical engineering, so it's like nowhere related. Like
Okay,
not even much of that, but yeah, the environment which IIT gave us and support they gave us, that definitely had helped.
of
So
course, of course. So to deep dive on the product, so Yoboshu, what does this name mean, and how does this name came into being? Can you just tell us any background story behind this? What was the inspiration, and what does it exactly mean?
yeah. So Yoboshu, if you search on Google, although everyone say that it sounds like a Japanese word, but
Yeah,
yeah, it just sounds like that. Surprisingly, it's not any kind of word in the dictionary. Yoboshu is the term that we invented. So why
no,
we thought of something out of the world? So we look at companies like McDonald's, okay, or for Google. So these companies, they just created a name for themselves. Like Google is kind of a verb now. You just Google it, right?
exactly, exactly.
Right. So we wanted to do something that impactful in the field of healthcare. We thought that okay, we'll invent an own word, we'll give it our own meaning, and someday Yoboshu will be available in the dictionary. So
Of
we have given
course.
it a meaning, which is someone who cares.
Okay, okay. And what we wanted to deep dive into a Yoboshu. So can you enlighten and walk us through the business model that Yoboshu is currently having, like from end to end, from the point of development to the research to how it reaches the customer, the whole business model. Can you just give us a quick overview?
Definitely, definitely. So a lot of research goes in the back end. As I said, that a complete research team is involved with people in the field of psychology, food nutrition, physical activity. So all these people they are continuously researching about long-term habit formation in the background. In the front end, what we basically do is that there's an assessment that you need to fill. It's like a 5 minutes long assessment where we try to understand their behavior. Okay, so behavior in the fields of their eating habits, whether they emotionally eat or not, whether they eat when they're bored, right? Or how often do they eat from outside. So we understand their food habits, their activity patterns, their sleep routine, how well is their sleep quality, and lastly, their stress management, how much they're able to deal with stress and how do they deal with it. So these are 4 or 5 areas where we judge, where we ask questions from our users in the assessment, and after that we give our own customized plan to them. Right. So the total program duration it's 4 months and 14 days, out of which 14 days is the trial and 4 months is the program duration. And in these 4 months, we take a 360-degree approach towards the weight management. So we deal with your food habits, we deal with your activity levels, with your sleep quality, and your stress management. So that all gets completed in a period of 4 months if you're consistent daily. Otherwise, it can take a bit longer than that.
Got it. And coming back to this one, Shivanshi, so when the first startup failed, when usually when the startup fails, people it will hit their confidence a lot. So what made you keep moving, and what made you to come to this Yoboshu Cares?
Yeah. So when the first startup failed, actually at that time I was not very sad about it because it was my first
Mhm.
attempt, and I was actually happy that we learned something out of it. Obviously, a little bit of hope was there that cash chal jata, nahi chala, theek hai. But then we thought that okay, let's do something else. And healthcare was a personal interest for both me and my co-founder Sanjeev. So if I talk about Sandeep, his mother, she died when he was very young, a little boy, and she died of blood cancer. And doctor said that if you could have known about this earlier, we might have saved her. So he always wanted to do something in this medical, in this healthcare field. But he ended up becoming an engineer. He took a BTech, he did his BTech. So but his interest for doing something in health was there, and that's why he decided that okay, I'll do something in healthcare. And for me, it was my father was my motivation. So when I was very small child, I saw that daily my father is taking some medicines early in the morning. So I used to ask my mom that why is he taking medicines, that too daily. She said that एक problem है, and for that he has to take his medicines daily. There is no other option. When I grew up, I got to know that he's taking BP medicines, blood pressure, and I realized that high blood pressure it's such a huge problem. Right? A lot of us they lose our loved ones at a very young age because of these problems, which can be easily solved otherwise. Right? If you have a proper lifestyle, you won't get these diseases. So I thought that okay, we should do something in healthcare. That's when we both came together and we started Yoboshu.
Wow, this is really inspirational, Shivanshi. Like, I really don't know this reason also back in, and I'm very sure, with this reason, not only your parents' family, a lot of families in India is going to positively benefited from your startup. I really wish for that.
Yeah, and
And
we really hope to touch many lives and make many people healthy through Yoboshu.
correct. The vision is really great. And in this entire thing, what is the greatest satisfaction you had with Yobushu?
Okay, so greatest satisfaction obviously comes from our users and from our team.
Mhm.
So when we see that like earlier we were just two people, right? Me and Sandeep working on a goal. Now when we see people joining us, joining our team, and we are like, okay, now not only us, but there are other people as well who care about this vision, who care about making people healthy without putting them on restrictions, right? So that's one thing which I really love about this journey. And second, this thing obviously comes from our users. When they tell us that कि शिवांशी मैं सच में 10-15 साल से राइटिंग कर रहा था, अब फाइनली आपका प्रोग्राम लेके आई एम एबल टू मैनेज माई हेल्थ. So that gives us separate, different kind of feeling. I mean, it can't be described in words. It's the reason why we go and sleep well at home when we hear such feedback from the users. And I think that this way we are actually adding years to the lives of people. So yeah, I think that's the biggest satisfaction right now.
Got it. And this entire process, like right from delivery model business to the Yobushu case, what were your completely biggest challenge? One biggest challenge, if I ask, like overall in this entire journey, what is the biggest challenge you had, and how you had overcome it?
Okay, so there are a lot of challenges which keep on coming us, and right now our biggest challenge is to increase the perceived value of this program. So what happens is when you start any weight loss program or any healthcare program for that matter, you are like कि एक दिन में ना कुछ बड़ा बहुत बड़ा करते हैं तब हमें रिजल्ट मिलेगा. So
Mhm.
on day one you decide that no junk food from now, activity level highly up, 1 hour exercise daily, right?
Yeah.
And you feel that that's the only thing that can give you improvement. And when you don't get that, when you join a program and when you don't get that, you feel that okay man, ये लोग कुछ करा भी रहे हैं कि नहीं. So हमारे program में we don't make any restrictions as I said, and we don't tell them कि जाओ अब से 1 घंटा आपको run करके आना है. Nothing like that. It's the 1% improvement which we focus on. So here is a challenge that we face, that we have to increase the value of this and perceived value of our product, that this actually works. If you just just stay consistent for a week, you will start seeing the difference without making a lot of hustle. Now, we are working to solve that. There are two, three things which are coming up which can increase the perceived value, like our scientific advisory board and our video testimonials of the users who have already gone through this program. So, two, three other things are also coming up, which you can check in the app soon.
So,
Got it.
so Shivanshi, what is the road ahead for Yoboshu in the long run? If I ask you, where do you see Yoboshu in the next, say, 5 years or 7 years, and what is the vision that you have for it to grow, and how do you plan to expand it, or maybe what is your vision regarding Yoboshu in the long run?
So, our vision at Yoboshu is that we want to make healthy living really easy, right? When you look at other industry, other people, then being healthy, they think that's so challenging. You have to restrict yourself. You can't eat certain items, right? We want that being healthy should be very easy. It should be as easy as brushing your teeth. That's why we focus on habit formation. Now, currently, Yoboshu only we only have a paid loss program, right? We started with obesity, and the reason for that is this obesity, this weight problem. It's the root cause of a lot of diseases. Any disease like PCOD, diabetes, high blood pressure, high lipids. Each of these problems come when you are overweight. So we
True.
thought that okay, let's solve the root first, which is obesity, and once we solve that, we'll go on the branches. So moving forward, we'll be getting other programs in this healthcare domain, like mental well-being, diabetes management, then your blood pressure management, PCOD management, and all these things will come up in the future. But 5 years from now, Yoboshu will be known as a company which makes living healthy really easy and really fun. That's yeah.
That's really great to hear, Shivanji. And this won't be complete, like, without asking about your personal. How do you maintain your healthier lifestyle? Like, right from, do you do meditation, yoga, and follow this, whatever you're advising to the people, or what else you're performing?
Yeah, so actually, my health journey also evolved while building this startup. In the very, very early days, uh, we didn't care about her health. About her health in the sense we thought we have to work in order to make other people healthy, right? We thought that they have to live such life. There is no other way. We used to work late night. We used to eat anything. Like our lifestyle was completely screwed. And in fact, even I started gaining weight, sitting on the chair whole day like a couch potato. But when we started this behavioral change product, that's when my life also changed. So when we used to research that these are the ways in which you can lead a healthy lifestyle without compromising on your work, I started adopting that, and it has now started making change in my life. I also lost weight as a result. Uh, Fortunately, that's what I'm healthy completely now. I don't have any chronic conditions. So now there are two, three practices which I usually follow. First is I don't sit on my chair for a very long time now. Every 30 minutes, I ensure that I just get up and just move around in my office. That is one thing. Second is whenever I'm on calls or meetings, I try to walk while talking on call. So that way my activity levels are maintained because daily I have to talk to a lot of users. So a lot of my time goes on talking to the users over phone. So I just make sure that I'm walking throughout that time. Third is to handle my stress. I practice this mindful breathing, which is a kind of meditation. So that has proven to be very effective for stress management because as founders there are a lot of stress in day-to-day lives, and it can take a really bad toll on your health if you don't do anything about it. So these three, four things are helping me personally in this program. And yeah, I try to ensure that I eat good food. And when I'm eating outside, I know how to eat that so that I don't end up overeating.
Got it, Shivanji. So to conclude with, one final thing, if I want to ask you, to a lot of female people, like especially girl students, if they want to venture out their own entrepreneurship side or anything, like what suggestion do you give to them?
So my suggestion is, I think gender shouldn't come when you're starting something because it's like you're doing something for the world, right? Let your gender not come in between. There are some challenges when you're women and you have to start your own company. There are few challenges involved, but I think if you stay persistent in the game for a few years, then you will be able to make the big impact because of which you started. So I just think stay persistent. That's it. Nothing else can help in this journey.
True. That is the great thing to know. Because of this gender difference, also, so many people are backing out. It's a valuable message you give. So, Shivanshi, thank you so much for giving your time to us. And, it's pleasure for us to host on behalf of Insights, IMK PGP-BL Insight Circle. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice interacting with you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivansh.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.